Greetings, generals. Today we wrap up our understanding of preparing for the EOI and looking at graphs, and particularly graphs of lines. Today we're going to consolidate all of our learning and look at graphing a line given a table of values, graphing a line given 2 points, including x and y intercepts, graph a line given its slope in a point, graph a line given its equation, whether it be in slope-intercept form or standard form. Let's get started. First, which point doesn't belong? Graph the line to find out. Pause the video until you have figured out which point in the table does not belong. Again, I'll give you a hint. You want to plot each point and see which one does not fall on the line. Okay, let's see what the answer is. You got it. -1, 2 was not a point on the line. Let's do another one. X and Y intercepts. Graph the line with x-intercept 2, 0 and y-intercept 0, 1. Complete the table to find 3 other points. So again, plot the x-intercept, which is 2, 0, and then plot the y-intercept 0, 1. Draw the line, and then complete the table to find the other points or the other values. Pause the video until everyone has answered. Okay, let's see. Good job. Good job if you notice that -2 also has 2 for the y value, and that for where the y value, the y-intercept was 0, 1. If you plotted that point correctly, great job. But this was a hard one. If you notice, the x value is 1, and the y value is in between 0 and 1, so that's 1/2. Good job if you got that one right. And then we were also given the x value, x-intercept 2, 0. But then lastly, for filling in our table, the y value is -1. So that means the x value is 4. Good job if you got that right. Okay, if we're given 2 points, graph the line that passes through the points -2, -2, and 1, 4. Identify the x and y intercepts. Let's look at the hint. Remember, the x-intercept is the point where the line crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercept is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Pause the video until everyone has answered. Let's see if you got the answer correct. Again, you should have plotted the point and then drew a line and then see where the line crossed the x and y axis, because the hint said that the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis and the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept crosses right here at -1, so we write that as -1, 0. And the y-intercept crosses at 2, and we write that 0, 2. Remember, intercepts are a point. It just so happens that the value for y in x-intercept is always 0, and the value for a y-intercept, the x value, is always 0. So that's a great tip to remember for the EOI. Let's keep going. Okay, we got slope in a point. Graph the line that passes through the point -3, -2 with a slope of 3/4. Again, at what point does it intersect the vertical line x equals 1? Well, we get a hint. Remember, slope is rise over run, or directions. Remember, it tells us how much to go up and how much to go over. What is the x value? What is the x value where the 2 lines intersect? Meaning, if I look at the vertical line and I look at the line I've drawn, where do I have a crossing for that to determine the x value. Okay, try and figure out this answer and pause the video until everyone has figured it out. Alrighty, let's see if you got it right. Okay, so you should have plotted -3, -2, and then again, slope tells us directions. So we could have went up 3 and over 4 this way, or we could have went over 4, because you always have to go over, and up 3. Remember, rise over run. We draw a straight line. And again, it said, if I had a vertical line, x equals 1, which is right here, at what point do they intersect? Well, they will intersect right there at 1, 1. I'll make a big line. So if I had that line and I have this line, they intersect at 1, 1. Great job if you actually got this answer correct. Let's try another one. Let's investigate. We have this actual tool in order for us to change the values of the M and the C. So let's pull for directions and then pause the video as you actually follow the directions on your notebook file. The directions again say set the M and C buttons to graph f of x equals 5x minus 4. F of x is another way of saying y equals. And f of x equals negative x plus 2. Then you're going to determine the slope and the y-intercept for each line. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Pause the video until you have graphed both lines and come up with what's the slope and what's the y-intercept. Okay, let's get rid of those instructions and see what our answer is. Oh, great job if you discovered for the first one the slope is 5 and for the y-intercept it's -4. And if you discover the slope is -1 for the second one and the y-intercept is 2. You are on track for being okay with the EOI. Last but not least, our hardest one. We got to graph the equation 2x minus 6y plus 6 equals 0. But we have a hint. Let's pull the star down to the green box to look at our hint. Well, you already know how to graph a line given its x and y intercepts. So if you can actually find the x and y intercept given this equation, remember from your math classes that to find the x-intercept, you make y0 and then you solve. And to find the y-intercept, you make x0 and then you solve. Good job if that's in your memory. Pause the video until everyone has found the x and y intercepts and place them on the graph and then graph the line. Okay, let's look at the answer. Good job if you discovered that the x-intercept was -3, 0. Again, if I place 0 in for y and solve, I get -3. And then if I plug in 0 for x, I get 1 for the y value. Again, I just draw a straight line through those two, and I found my answer. Let's put it all together and see if we can figure out how many of these facts match the graph line. This is a huge skill that will help you for the EOI, because many times the EOI will give you the graph and they're asking you which one matches the information. So try and see which of these given items actually match the graph, and then we'll pause the video until everyone is answered, and then we'll look at the answers together. Okay, it says drag them to the graph. Only the correct answers will appear, meaning they'll be on top. So let's see if this one, yes, that matches the graph. Yes, I can tell the slope is 3 over 1 and it's negative, so that is correct. Yes, the equation is also y equals negative 3x plus 3. You got it. The point 2, negative 3 does fall on the line. Oh, that's not matching. And that's not matching. Good job if you got these 4 correct. This concludes our lesson for this week, generals. Have a great day.